Okay, do we have echo?
Hello?
Yes. Hello? Can you hear us?
We're good.
You're good?
But I hear the echo. It's when you guys come in, the echo comes up. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, gosh.
It's fine. We're going to have to live a little bit with the echo today. I don't know if it's the way the phone is positioned on your desk.
No, because when we were holding it, we tried holding it by hand. Do you still hear us? Like the echo?
Let me talk. We're
talk.
No, we're good.
Huh? I don't hear
good. I think it's the surface where it's on, it's bouncing back an echo.
Okay, so.
All right, so we're going to have to put it on something.
Or hold it.
Just hold.
Oh, you're going to hold it the whole hour?
Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. We got it. All right. We might have to. Because we had to stand and the stand is.
It was the surface that was bouncing it. That's perfect.
Okay.
I can see you both. And we're not hearing the echo.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start back over, people. Forgive the technical difficulties today.
Sorry.
But again, welcome guys to A Live with Mel. We're here with Rashawn Rose Bridal, with Shawnette and Sharika. Lovely, beautiful sisters from Rashawn Rose Bridal that we have been working with for years. They are absolutely amazing. They have been taking care of my clients for years. We were making sure that they come with the best and the best dress. They always fall in love with Rashawn Rose Bridal. And to be honest, like, we never had a situation where a bride never broke down in tears.
This is true.
Fell in love with the dress. We always had positive feedback every time we have a consultation with you guys. So for the people that didn't get a chance to really hear about how you guys started and how this thing started, we're going to have Sharika start back with the story and we go from there.
Okay, so hi, my name is Sharika. I'm from Rashawn Rose. The way we started, it's been now 14 years we've been in business. And the way we started was we were looking for my Sweet 16 dress, and we weren't really happy with our shopping experience, and we weren't happy with the dress selection. My mom just kind of felt like we went to Miami, we went to Palm Beach, we looked everywhere in Broward, and we just weren't finding what we were looking for me. And the funny joke is that we're Jamaican, but I ended up getting a quinceañera dress.
Really?
Yeah. I ended up wearing a quinceañera dress because of the limited amount of selections for like a Sweet 16 gown.
Right.
So at the time, my mom was on leave from work, and she had decided that, you know what, I want to make a change in my life, and I don't want to retire at American Express. She's worked there for 18 years, and she decided, I'm going to start my own store. And she came home and she just did all her research, and she decided, this is what I'm going to do. Before we even actually had a storefront, the first dress that we ever sold was out of her bedroom in the closet.
Wow.
Somebody found us after school. I used to put these things on the flyers and send it out to brides, and we were hoping that somebody would find us. And somebody did, and she's like, I love this gown. And she was like, I don't mind, I'll come to your house. She came to the house and she bought the gown. So it's been 14 years now, and it's been a blessing.
Amazing. It's so funny listening to you both talk about the story about how the journey, how you guys came to exist. And it's like, I can actually relate to it because my mom was in the same industry growing up. She was doing like the whole wedding dress, the prom dresses, the graduation dresses. Like, she started out in the fashion industry, and that's how I got into it. She had her own salon boutique back in Jamaica. She had 2 locations, one in Kingston and the other one in Mandeville. And I grew up with my mom traveling all the time to these different boutiques. I always had the trend before people down there had it. So it was always,
I believe you.
You know,
I believe you.
You know, and it was so funny because when you got parents that are in that area, and people always say, how you work with your own family? You guys make it work. It's like, it clicked. It's a synergy just to see when I walk in the store with Miss Rose, you girls always doing with the brides in the appointment. For people that are out there that don't know how family business, because they always have like a negative and a positive about family business.
We call it creative differences.
Right.
There you go. You know?
That's the way we sum it up.
Yeah, it's like working together in a salon with your mom. How has that experience been for you guys?
I would say it's a learning lesson every day. It's a lot to learn from her. She's a really good leader in regards to, staying in front of everything, being prepared, changing with the times. So it really is a blessing because I think we all balance each other out.
Yeah.
In each way, like Sharika with the marketing, me with the customers, and Mom with the numbers.
Yeah.
So I mean, the trio itself, we all learn from each other. We all balance each other out, and with our creative differences, it's a good trio.
Yeah. And it's good to know that you guys have the opportunity to balance your creativity and your different style together in that, salon. It's that you guys all have a different eye for things, but it always comes together. And that's cool. Because let's talk about the new prom showroom that you guys just created in Mr. Rico over here. So our little creative touch into it. It's been like really awesome walking into the salon lately with
Thank you.
New wing that you guys
right.
That is a dream that we've all have been praying for a very long time. We've given it to God for a while now, and we were waiting for the right time. We tried doing pop-ups. We were thinking about doing pop-ups in other stores, but we wanted to make sure we spend a lot of time in the store, actually more in the store than we do at our own homes. So we wanted to make sure that we had it in a homey feel and where all the girls can come and have a fun time and they can share that moment that I shared with my mom when we were shopping for our dress. So it was uniquely designed just to make sure that it was comfortable for everybody and they had the greatest shopping experience possible.
Yeah, I remember when you guys showed it to me, I was like all over the glam room, the butterfly room.
Yes.
And I was like, all these different rooms speak to a different bride or client or, somebody that's going for their prom. Whole style and creativity and uniqueness. And that's basically what we'll be touching on today. We wanted to talk about things to know before going wedding dress shopping. Like some of the things that you guys and I have experienced throughout the years when we go dress shopping with our bride. And, Sharika and Shawnette can let you know, I'm on every appointment.
Right.
If I'm out of town.
Sometimes she's the first one there.
If I'm international, I'm video chatting in because I gotta see it. FaceTime me in some way or form in order for me to see or get that whole look of my bride fitting on the dress to make sure it's a perfect dress.
Right.
So one of the things that I want to talk about is let's talk about how each bride's journey of getting their wedding dress, it's different and unique to them. How do you guys first establish that once they walk in?
Well, first I'll start with a lot of times what a bride we learn that what a bride may have in her vision or what she may think she may have always had as her dream dress. 9 out of 10 times tends to be a little different. Yeah. So it's a process of just opening her up and getting her to, express what she's really looking for and then kind of just tune in on that. In regards to what brides are doing now before they get to us, a lot of research. I find a lot of them are going on social media, doing a lot of pinning, a lot of Pinterest and Instagram photos. And then a lot of times what we find is on social media, there'll be that one gown that is somewhere that you'll never find. So what we try to do is get designers that, are up to time as far as not just with on the runway, but with social media as well, because we find a lot of brides are going there first before they actually are looking in a magazine or looking online. Yeah. And then if we don't have that exact style, what we can get that looks ideal to it, which a lot of times we have already because we're on the same places that the brides are looking.
Yes. And one of the things that to add on to that too is like when it comes to the brides and your process in getting ready, guys, because we talk about your unique style. And when it comes to unique style, I mean, like everybody's shape different, everybody's style is different.
Right.
When you're going dress shopping, we always want to make sure that you're doing your homework in advance and also have an open mind. Because here's the thing. You may go online and see all these different dresses and you think that this is the dress for me, but when you fit it, you may not see yourself in it. The thing is that when you go to these bridal shops and you're going to do your dress shopping, you got to have an open mind that these people, professionals that are there are also experienced to know what will fit your body and your
Well, open
body.
mind is key. Yeah. And
Yeah,
going
it's
back to what
very key, because I've had a situation where a bride may walk in to a salon and she was like, oh, I want this dress, but in my head, I'm like, that's not the dress for you.
Right.
Because I already know by the certain posture of the dress, where it's the bust area, the hip area, your it all speaks, to what will really fit your body perfectly and comfortably.
Right.
So, it's good for you to have that kind of open mind. Now, where I don't want brides to kind of get stuck on is Pinterest and social.
Yes, please.
It can be your enemy, people.
You'll go looking forever.
You'll look forever for those dresses, and you're not gonna see them.
And we see it in both prom and bridal. A lot of times they come in and it's that one gown. Maybe Rihanna got custom designed.
Exactly.
Or something. A lot of times what you find on Pinterest, or the girls see on Pinterest, is something that was custom designed.
Yes.
And, or if it is from a designer, they tweaked it a little bit. That's how it got so viral. And
or it's an older style sometimes. It's just floating the internet for years. So
there you go. So that's what I'm saying. Don't get stuck, because I had a bride who was looking for a pantsuit she found on Pinterest. And she wanted for her second look for her wedding, and she was just stuck on it. Like, she kept on saying, oh my God, I really want to find this dress. I saw it on the runway. I saw it on the red carpet, but I can't find it. I said, well, you ain't going to find it unless you're going directly to the designer and get it custom made. So, you don't want to kind of get stuck in that situation. You want to have an open mind, whether be prepared to say, hey, I want to go into a store and I'm ready to find that perfect dress. Yes. Or I'm going to get my dress custom made because I have an idea what I want my top to look like, my bottom to look like, whatever. If it has sleeves, no sleeves, or a back open, you need to have these things in your mind and be prepared, so when you walk into the store, you know exactly what to say to the specialist. So that's one thing I always tell my brides, like, don't get stuck on the pictures you see online.
Right. A lot of times that is what happens. They come in and it's maybe, oh, I've always envisioned a ball gown. And the first thing they say they try in a ball gown, oh my God, it's hot, it's heavy. Yeah. I don't see myself wearing this all night. Or a girl that says, oh, I would never wear a fitted gown. I usually don't wear fitted. They put on a fitted gown and they feel sexy, or they feel chic, or they feel stylish. So, or a girl that says, oh, no bling. And she puts on bling and she's like, can I have more bling? Right. So keeping an open mind is really key. And as far as the process goes, we're generally here to help the girls. Yes. So it's never going to be, oh, are you saying yes to the dress because I think this dress is like going to be just a number for the day? No, it's like, I'm with you. Like, okay, no, you snapping in this. Do you not see yourself? It's never going to be oh, let's just settle on this gown. Right, exactly. And that's another point that we want to touch. When brides go in and when they're going in and they're looking at the dresses, some brides feel like when they go into a salon, they're going to find the dress the first look. Right. It's not 9 out of 10 that way. Sometimes you may find a dress and you're like, oh my God, I love it. But you may want to go back to the salon again another day, and you might, fit another dress. And you're like, oh my God, I love it. Don't feel like it's going to be overwhelming, because you have that experience where people might come in 1 or 2 times, want to try a dress. Absolutely. Yeah, how do you encourage those brides that are like drawn in between, that can't make a decision?
So for me,
she said her mood changed so many times. I agree.
What?
She said my mood changed so many times.
I'll tell you it's the truth. Your whole style and everything may change throughout the whole process.
Your style does change, absolutely. But for me, I always tell brides, just like the same thing with your fiance. When he proposed, you didn't say, I want to keep dating, or I want to keep seeing what else is out there. When you find a dress that you feel really good in, and you feel like a bride, and you feel beautiful, that's what you go with. And sometimes we're like, oops, sorry. Sometimes you do have to take a step away from it and let yourself breathe, which we encourage people to do if they feel like that. But I always tell people also, if you're walking down the aisles, if you're between 2 dresses, if you're walking down the aisle, would you still be thinking about this other one while you're wearing that one? That's your answer. So if you were like, no, I really love this other one as well, but that's not what I want to get married in. So you got to realize that there's gowns that are just beautiful and gorgeous that you love, but then there's the one that you really want to get married in. Same thing with your
Yeah.
fiance. So.
Where's your charger?
Hair chemistry, you wasn't doing your homework, which is why we're here today to talk about that, to help you
Yes.
also brides that make sure they're prepared and doing their homework so we don't have the problem where you guys are going to be stressing yourself out, you know?
Right.
One of the other things that we want to also shout at when we work together, one of the questions that we always ask our bride is, what's the budget?
Right.
Let's talk about the budget, people, because brides tend to go in with, oh, I don't know, and some brides go in and say, well, I know, because my brides, for one, if a lot of them are on here, because I see them scrolling through it and so forth, they like the Melanova, the Pranovich,
right.
you know, the little high brand names, and those are not cheap.
Right.
Now, for those that are like, you know, you see a style online and you come in, when you ask them, you know, what's the process of asking them for their budget and stuff so you can pick out the right dress by the look and the style that they like?
Well, one of the things that I think it'll last. It'll last. Yeah, no, it'll last. One of the things we're trying to figure out.
If anybody knows my sister, even in the store, she's always running around like, where's my phone? I think my phone's dead. It's not charged. So this is the same problem we're dealing with again.
Sorry, Melissa.
No, you're fine. You guys are crazy right now. Forget the charger so she don't hang up on me.
I know. She got my back. She's like, okay, where's your charger? In the background, she's like, where's your charger? I'm like, it'll be fine. No, but one of the things we actually, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things we actually don't hesitate to talk about first is the budget, because we generally want to make sure that we don't have you fall in love with something that it's like, oh, surprise, tell me your life to get this dress. And because we have so many different designers, so many different styles, we actually like sought out to get those styles that, you know, look amazing, like some of the ones you'll see on Pinterest, but don't come with that crazy price tag. So we discuss it first, and we say, hey, you know, what's the max you want to be at, or what's the range you'll feel comfortable in? And we make them feel as comfortable as possible, because honestly, whether the budget is even $1,000 to $4,000, we will find something for you.
Yeah, keep in mind, we also do offer different options for customers. So if your budget is under like that $1,500 mark for new orders, we're always having like some type of sale, like a sample sale. So if for brides out there who are new to this wedding shopping experience, keep in mind the best way to find like your gown, if you're looking for a particular price, is also if you do look for sample sales. That's usually like the best thing. Most stores, we do offer like payment plans as well. They're interest free. But you want to start doing that research, because if you know, hey, I really am looking for this type of gown, or I fell in love with this gown, see if it's on a sample sale, and you get a really good deal. So keep that in mind.
Also, so Stephanie, one of my bride, asked the question, do you do custom made gowns?
Good question. We do have some,
yes and
that's
no.
a tough one. So we've got some amazing seamstresses. Amazing. I mean, when it comes to their craft, like, my hat's off to them. However, it's depending on how far the bride is trying to go. If it comes down to your recreating the entire dress, I always say just find a gown that looks like that, because with the amount of different designers and styles that they're out there, little things, or not little things, but major things like changing the entire lining, the sequins, adding, beading, all that stuff, you could get that custom made, or not custom made, but you could find a gown that looks like that. In regards to smaller things like maybe adding sleeves, making it strapless, off the shoulder.
We've extended the train as
we
well.
We could extend the chain manually.
Add a cape. Or
add a
we're
detachable
really good.
skirt.
Even in store, if you look at like some of our previous brides, we're really good at like finding a main base of a dress, and then say if you want to do like a detachable skirt, or if you want to add sleeves in-house store, we can help you create that look. So sometimes it'll be our seamstresses, or even sometimes our designers are great at bringing that to life for you, and then having your dress already pre-made.
Awesome. Stephanie said, when is your next sample sale?
So we technically had one for March. It was March Madness.
Yeah,
we had one, but then we had to close down. So we are gonna reopen that as soon as we get to reopen. We will have that.
Once we're back out of quarantine,
I promise, Stephanie, you come see us, okay?
But I saw Krista on here, and Krista, yes, the experience at Rashawn Road is excellent. Krista is another one of my
Thank you,
brides. Krista wedding will be coming up here in September as well. Now, we talked about the budgeting experience, and I tend to always ask my bride that question as well, because before we go dress shopping, I always want to know, like, what are we walking into? Because for one, I tend to go start pulling off the racks, and I would grab Shawnette, and I'm like, all right, Shawnette, this is XYZ, because when my eyes see something and I see my bride, I visually start to say, I know this is going to look good on her. Let's try this, like, let's try that. Right. Now, it's good to always come in there prepared with a budget and a price point. But also, if you have room to kind of extend, I always say, you know, give me your top number and your bottom line number. Right. So we can have that option where we can pull out something that might be a little bit more in that bracket that you're saying, I'm willing to go, but this is my, you know, bottom line resort. If I want to. You know what I mean? So I always tell people, just have a top tier number and a bottom tier number.
Right. So we'll exactly say, like, what's the max you want to be at. Right.
She said, what kind of designers do you carry at your store?
Ooh. What don't you carry?
I know. Off the top of what I can remember, Milanova, which is like the #1 pin designer on Pinterest. We carry Essence of Australia. Who doesn't know about Essence of Australia? A lot of other major designers like Allure,
Maury
Lee. I mean, they're all like what I really love about our Cala Blanche, Panovias, and Zolani. If you see it online, we 9 out of 10 times we carry the designer.
Yeah. Hi, Travis. I see you.
Yeah, hi,
Travis. So, yes, you guys carry a real wide variety, and that's why I always, ladies, if you guys don't know, I always bring them to my brides, to Rashawn.
I love you.
And my brides always walk out the store with a dress.
It's a good dream team. It's a good dream team.
It's like the dream team. We come in, we say,
you come in and give me business.
We right to it.
Melissa's in there like, okay, love it or like it.
So we don't waste time on it. And then one of the things that I wanted to talk about also is timing. When is the perfect time to start shopping for your dress? I get that question all the time. Let's
go. Typically, we'll say 6 to 8 months prior to your wedding. I strongly urge at least a year. And the reason being, with everything going on right now, this is a perfect example. This is something that none of us expected was going to happen. I know some people are seeing some effects with their delivery dates, or if their wedding is getting pushed back. So I would just plan, like you're planning for your wedding about a year out for most brides. I would start the shopping process at least a year, because say you find it within 2 months, then you're at that 8-month delivery time. So leave cushion room, definitely.
Yeah, and unfortunately everybody can see now the room for what ifs. A lot of our brides, I have to say, you know, they shopped smart, and not to say if you're shopping last minute, it's not smart, but at the time they made that decision, where now, even if there are dates that are delayed a little bit, they still have enough time for alterations. They still have time to wait until everything opens back up and everything's still on schedule.
Yeah. And I agree with you on that. Stephanie, I'm going to answer your question. I see you. Hold on. So, yes, I agree with you on that as well. Because here's my thing. I say that to my brides all the time, and they have a timeline. My brides that are on it can chime in and say, yes, she's it. They're able to accommodate and cater to all sizes. And that's what I love.
And to piggyback off of that, not only do we go to all sizes as far as different ranges, but in each size, because sometimes you'll find maybe if it's going up maybe size 18 and up, it's only ball gowns. Right. But our curvy girls, they like fitted and sexy too. So a lot of times if a style is popular, maybe in a size 12, we're also going to have that popular style in like a size 24 up to size 28.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what I'm saying, because I definitely work with a variety of sizes. So for me, I like to go into a boutique, especially one or the bridal salon, that I'm able to go in with my bride and she can actually try some options. Right. Whether it's the A, the ball gown, you know, we want to be able to give you those options to look and see what fits you best. Right. So I love the options, and I love that it's there. So one thing, ladies, you could definitely look forward to. All right, here's my other pet peeve, and I want you guys to see if you're gonna gonna back me on this.
Okay.
The entourage at the bridal appointment. I know I love you guys. Listen.
Right.
So here's my thing. I always say, don't come with the whole entourage, people. All right, here's my thing.
Right.
You can come with your maid of honor, mom of the bride, and mom of the group.
Okay.
That's my four.
Right.
I don't want no more than that. But let me hear what you guys are advising.
Okay. Did you hear the question? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So with the entourage,
yes.
First, when you book an appointment, we do recommend, or we ask, no more than 4 guests inside the suite, because we try to make it secluded for the bride, so it's a closed off section. There's 3 different. Well, we have 3 suites now, so we try to make it closed off for the bride. But even in the suite, it's pretty spacious, but we still want to make it comfortable. So when you come with more than 4 people, number one, you're already on top of each other. But then the main thing is so many different opinions.
Thank you.
And they mean well. They so mean well. That's why the bride brought them. However, how do you hear yourself think?
Okay, another thing to keep in mind though, I have to jump in, because say you are getting married on the beach and you and your husband are just eloping and you wanted to share the shopping experience with your family. And grandma's like, well, honey, I really envisioned you in a ball gown. Your appointment is not going to be as productive as you want it to be, because everyone views you differently. Your mom views you differently, your best friend, your fiance, everyone is looking for something different. And it's really about you and what you want to get married in, what you want to look back on your photos on. So when they're there in that appointment and they're giving you that input, they mean well, but it may not be the best, opinion for you. And less is more.
And that's what I feel before you chime in. I know you're ready. Sometimes what I feel as well is subconsciously, even if, I have my brides, they're like, no, I'm strong-minded and I'm going to make my decision. Subconsciously, if your aunt or your even mom or someone is like, I don't love it, but it's whatever you think, you're going to be in the back of your mind, you're going to say, like, darn, no matter how much
I don't think she really like it.
Yeah, right.
I'm not crazy.
You like it or you don't like it.
Oh, you like that?
That's nice.
Right. Or the, that's pretty.
Yeah. But here's my thing too. And 100% agree with you guys on every point. You can feel very overwhelmed with all the different voices. How can you really clear it out to yourself, really fall in love with the dress? When you have, everybody said, well, I don't know. Your hips look like this. I don't know about the sleeve. I don't know about the back of this. But then in your head, you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, I really do love the way this feels.
Right.
But then you're getting all of this information coming at you and you're like, okay, do you love it or you don't love it?
Right.
And what I always say to my brides when they come with their people, love or like or love. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear your.
That's what I said. Love or like.
I don't want to hear what you thought, because at the end of the day, I want to hear what the bride thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Let's keep it together, people. Where we also want to understand, it's not about what you would wear; it's what the bride would wear.
Right.
Right.
It's about her at this time. We want to be supportive. Yes, we want to be honest, but at the same time, you got to be mindful about how you give off that type of feedback.
Right.
Because some people may take it, and brides do, because I've seen it. Oh, she don't like it, let's do the next one. And I see the brides, like, the whole energy just went like, shoosh, because you're sitting there waiting on a response back from whether your mom really feels it, or your mom don't feel it, or the cousin don't feel it, or the other maid of honor don't feel it. But in yourself, you're like, oh, I really do love this.
Yeah.
But, everybody else is not feeling, so I'm going to move on to the next one.
Right. And we try, and one of the things, like, as stylists, we try to make sure we're really in tune. So when we see something like that going in, we say something like, hey, no, but she really loved it. Or, hey, I know you guys aren't. Because I've even seen times where you know, the family will convince a bride to get something, and then later on, you know, she's calling back, the dress is already ordered, there's nothing we can do, and now she's stuck with a gown that she's not crazy about because they convinced her to buy it. So one of the things I always tell the brides, I'd rather lose a sale than have a bride say yes to something that she's not genuinely crazy about. And I read the body language like it is. Like, I'm big on that. Like, if your body, if you could say it's pretty, but if your body language, I know what a love is, and I know what a like is.
Shauna, tell them what my love is.
What your love is? No,
but no, emotionally, my
right, no, right. A true love is the same way when your fiance proposed to you. That way you said yes. A true love is not. Oh, I like
Whenever
it.
I see a bride start petting herself and she's like this and touching the gown, that's how I know she loves it, because she's really feeling herself in it, and she's like, oh, I can picture this. If she's just like looking back at the train and she's like, this is pretty or that's cute,
right,
that's not what we want to see. When she puts it on and she's rubbing the lace and she's like, this feels like home for her body,
right,
that's how we know you really love it. And we're like, okay,
right,
like we know to ask you the big question at this point when you start rubbing the gown.
Or even my love is crying.
Right.
Crying?
That's a telltale sign. Or if a bride, or even for my con brides that come in, they're like, I don't really love anything. I've never really been crazy. I'm not an emotional person.
Yeah.
Trust me, when they find a love, it's excitement.
Who did that for us? Kim.
I wish she was on. Don't be here calling your brides out.
I'm calling them all out. So, Kim, one of my past brides, I love her. She's my darling. Kim is not like an emotional.
No, I remember her.
No. And when Kim was going through her dress thing, we were like very worried, like Kim was not going to find the dress.
Well, I was very shocked when I heard her say yeah.
The dress, and it was the dress. When she put on that dress, that girl could not stop crying. I love you, Kim.
Really?
Whole change of personality.
It was like a whole different change in the room. Everybody was like, even our own sister said, I never seen my sister this happy about anything.
And that is what we strive for. That is what you consider a true love.
What we strive for, people. We want to make sure that each and every one, when you go into a salon to try on your dress, that you fall in love, that you're in love, that afterwards when
you don't want to take it off.
You're like, Mel, send me the picture again of the dress. You're so excited. You want to see it again. You want to have memories of it. And everything, that you feel confident that you just ready to put down that deposit and say, I'm ready. I had brides that paid for the dress one time. Because she was so confident that it was the dress.
Right.
Yeah.
You definitely want to keep that in mind, brides, when you're going out and doing your dress. Just try to keep it to the people that opinions you trust the most.
Right.
And then remember, if you do have like an entourage, after you find the gown, you could book a follow-up appointment just to show them the gown. We have no problem doing that. Like, just give us a call and tell us, like, hey, I want to bring my bridesmaids. We'll book you an appointment in the week, and that way you can have that moment with your girls. There's no problem.
No problem with that.
Yep.
Definitely. Now, and I always say, separate the bridal shopping with the bridesmaid. Don't try to do everything at once.
Definitely.
You will get tired.
And the bridesmaids, again, the entourage that means well, they tend to be, because they're girlfriends a lot of times as opposed to maybe family, they're going to put a lot of input in there.
Yes.
So, and if it is going to be your girlfriends, maybe just your closest girl.
Right. Stephanie, you will definitely get the experience, my darling. Trust me. Once you're up, Shauna and us and Sharika will be getting you.
As soon as we're open, Stephanie.
As soon as we're open.
Book that appointment.
Picky or no picky, we had the picky brides, and we got, trust me, we probably have you on video like we have.
At the end of the day, a dear friend said to me, I heard a dear friend said, you know, you have to go with what's in your heart.
Yes.
You go with what you feel in your heart. That's how you know that is the one. You will not settle for anything else.
I agree. I'm with you 100%. Now, so here's my other question for you, and I'm scrolling down to it because I had a lot for you, right? Because we're talking about falling in love. We're talking about not the big entourage. We are talking about now, do not force the connection.
Right.
Right? And when we say don't force the connection, we mean that we were talking about that earlier about the family opinion, because everybody's saying yes, 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 but in your heart, you don't feel it. So do not force that connection. Right? So my thing for brides that are out here, and Sharika and Shawnette, you can chime me in on this when we see that happening, right? Don't put too much importance on the picture.
Right.
Right? Put
A
more
lot of
importance.
times. Sometimes the cameras, you got me on the top.
Don't wait. I'm sorry.
No, it's true. Don't go too much on the picture and how you look the moment you put on the dress.
Right.
Look more on the feel of the dress.
Right.
Always go by the feel.
And the connection with the dress. Now I'm gonna let you talk.
What you feel is what you're gonna look like.
Okay, so I have a perfect example. Have any of you ever worn a top and you're like, oh my God, this top is super cute. You ordered online and you've seen other pictures of it and it looks great, and you're fidgeting in this top all day long. You cannot wear that top properly because you're always fidgeting in it. It's the same thing with your wedding dress. If you don't feel good in your wedding gown and it's time to walk down the aisle, that confidence is not going to show throughout on your wedding day. Go by how you feel. Your photographer will take care of it. Remember, you're going to have hair and makeup done. You're going to have the whole ambiance. When you come to the appointment, you're not coming glammed up, which I really don't recommend coming glammed up because don't get makeup on the dresses. But keep in mind that you got to go by how you feel, because something may look great and everyone tells you it looks great, but if you don't feel confident in it, you're not going to walk down that aisle feeling like, hey, this is my gown, I'm getting married. Go by how you feel.
And so a lot of times I tell the girl, what you feel in the dress now is how you feel walking down the aisle.
Yes.
What you feel in the dress is what you're going to look like. So if subconsciously you didn't vocalize that you don't like the dresses so low here, or if subconsciously you didn't vocalize that you wish it was more sash here or more mermaid here, you go through this whole process and then you end up walking down that aisle and that big day flies by. I know you know, Melissa, you're planning with them all year round. So all that planning, that's a one-time moment. So make sure you're going with what you really feel, you're vocalizing how you're feeling, and you're not getting distracted by other opinions.
Agreed. Because here's my thing with that is that with a lot of brides, when I say go with what you feel, my brides, listen, you're going with the best photographers out here. You go with the best makeup artists and the hairstylists and everything. You go the day and you're dress shopping and you're like, oh, my hair didn't look too right and whatever. Listen, it ain't about that. Also, it's also the comfort of your skin. We were talking about this the other day when Travis and Imogen about Jules was on here, photographer. Make sure you can sit in your dress, people. Number one.
Yes.
Comfort is key on your
Listen
wedding
to the
day.
seamstress when she tells you don't make it
that tight.
That tight. Because the thing is, if you're not comfortable with, like, and somebody said it here, they had a question about, oh, I have the shoulder thing, so I'm skeptic about my sleeves, my chest area. I might not be the one to like to show the bustiness, but I like to be a little bit more conservative. So these are things that you're supposed to be looking for when you're dress shopping and looking for your perfect dress.
Right.
If you have those subconsciousness and whatever, and you're gonna buy a dress because you saw it online because you thought it looked awesome on a model or whatever, but it's not really for your body type or your style or your fit or your comfort, then you're not gonna be comfortable on the wedding day. I've had brides where you're sitting like this the whole time. I'm serious.
No, we've seen it.
Because you went and you kind of got something that you knew you weren't comfortable in, but you got everybody else telling you that was the dress for you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't even let that happen.
You cannot.
There's no way I'm letting you say yes to a dress that you were standing up like that in.
And she's
sitting down. There's no way. And then when you get to the alterations, like I said, we have great seamstresses where they're going to recommend to you, hey, maybe not be so uncomfortable. Yes. But yeah, that is an excellent point in regards to comfort and being able to sit and the train. Is it, because sometimes it's also the bride's personality. Some brides don't mind being like over the top, glamorous, uncomfortable for a little bit just because she's getting great pictures.
Or because she's changing out.
Right.
So she knows, hey, I'm going to change out of it.
Yeah. Right. Nowadays, though, we get a lot more brides that are thinking comfort first. They're changing into sneakers after the wedding. They're changing out of their dress. They're doing all of that. So if you are that bride that knows you're going to be hot in a gown, like if I ever get married, I know I'm changing out of my dress.
Like second, third, and fourth dress.
Listen, I'm going to be hot. So, I think you're that bride that's fussy or uncomfortable with fabrics, then don't get something that's fully beaded and stuffed up to here.
Go by comfort.
Exactly. And then if you're not the fussy bride and you're looking for that elegant chic, and I see you, Courtney, how you're asking, yes, we did just answer that, Courtney. Limit the amount of people that you bring to the fit.
Format.
Yes, less is better. Okay, but for sure, you definitely want to make sure that you're doing all of that, ladies. Because my thing is, for me, I find myself that I wouldn't want to sit in a dress all day. You have the brides that are like, oh, I want the big ball gown, the big over the top for my ceremony. But after that, I need to kick that.
They want to change
layers.
Then you have the brides that are like, okay, I want to be in my dress the whole time. So you're going to find something that's comfortable, not too heavy, not too crazy, that you can be, beautiful in your ceremony throughout the whole reception, cocktail, and everything. So we want to make sure that when you're going dress shopping, ladies, definitely come up with some examples, do your homework, really think about what you want to spend your day in, so you have that opportunity to sit down with specialists such as Rashawn Rose and her beautiful daughters that will be able to give you that detail and that information, right? So here's my other thing, the heels. Bring in a pair of heels when you're going to the dress shopping.
So, I used to tell them no, because we have pedestals in the rooms. So they are, especially, let's say, I think a rule of thumb too, for my petite girls, like let's say, for example, you are 5'4" and under. Even if you bring heels, the gown is going to be really, really long on you because they're sample gowns, so they're cut longer than normal, and you won't be able to walk comfortably. Sometimes I will have my girls, and then it damages the dress sometimes too. If I do have a girl maybe 5'6" or taller, it helps because at the end we have them walk in it and do like videos of walking in it. But a lot of times though, the pedestal that we have works just fine.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about, and I agree with you on that, because here's my thing there. When we have the pedestal on, yes, you're going to try to see how tall it is. You're not going to be able to do that.
Right.
Bring it to the fitting. That's when you
which is a must.
Bring it to the fitting when you get your dress in and we're doing all the alteration. Then you can tell your seepage, this is how long I want it, and so forth. But when you're going to the bridal salons, it's really not necessary to do that. What is necessary is the proper undergarment and support.
Please.
Talk about it, ladies. I ain't going to touch it. Because if I say it, people going to be like, man.
So I guess our number one rule of thumb is just make sure you come with underwear. That's like kind of like a must. If there is like an undergarment that you feel comfortable that you want to wear, I encourage people to bring it. But I always tell people, to be honest, your seamstress is your undergarment. Your seamstress is going to tailor the gown to snatch your waist for you.
Yes.
The day of, again, like you, Melissa, you talked about wearing the gown all day long. Can you just imagine wearing all that fabric on top of underlining as well? It becomes a lot. It becomes very heavy. In regards to your bust, what a lot of people don't realize, the seamstress will sew in the bra cups for you.
Yes.
Also, if you say, you know what, there's a strapless bra that I love to wear all the time, the seamstress can sew that bra into the gown for you, and after the wedding, you can just cut it out. So if there's a particular undergarment that you just, like, I feel more comfortable wearing this, it's no problem. Let the seamstress sew it into the gown. Her alterations is really going to give you that shape that you're looking for.
Yes.
But again, like some people, they just feel more comfortable, no problem. Let her sew it in, and then after the wedding, you can just take it out, unravel the stitches, and that way you can still reuse it.
And if you're not careful, some of the undergarments that I've seen brides wear, especially if they do it on the big day, it shows.
Oh yeah, and it shows.
Yes.
Sometimes depending on what they're
especially
wearing,
when you're wearing those waist trainers.
Yeah.
I've seen smooth, gorgeous gowns, and the shape is great. And I'll tell them, like, all right, you're gonna have that dip in the waist, but be comfortable with you should be comfortable with knowing that there's gonna be something that prints out in it or shows a little bit. My sister is getting the charger for me.
She's at 10%.
I don't last.
Didn't we tell her that you wasn't gonna last, Shauna?
It'll be fine. Hold on.
Also, let me charge.
And then, all right. Okay.
All right, guys. So while we're on here, guys, if you try me your question, I hope you guys get all the information you need. And it's doing great right now because I'm loving it. Go ahead.
So, in regards to undergarments, so yeah, when you come to the appointment, please proper undergarments like underwear. Believe it or not, we have had to request that from some brides. Maybe on a normal basis they may not, but we do actually wear underwear. And then in regards to the bras, if it is a bride who's, you know, extremely blessed up here, like H, double H or something like that, sometimes coming with a bra or wearing a bra, a special bra on that day helps. But like even with double D, our seamstress is able to really hold the girls in place without, you know, looking inappropriate or making her uncomfortable. And then going back to the waist trainer or the undergarments, if that waist trainer, like let's say you buy one after you bought the dress and for alterations, sometimes depending on how thick it is, it adds another 2 inches to 3 inches on the gown. So now you're sitting in that all night, you're hot, when you get hot, your body swells, and then you're all levels of uncomfortable.
And that's the thing too. With the waist trainers, guys, it's not necessary. I be telling my brides, you be snatched to the gods. When I say you snatch to the gods,
yeah, once the seamstresses get a hold of you,
the seamstress is gonna hold you in. Trust me. If
and
you want her to put the lining in to get you sucked in even more, she can do that to fit with your dress and make it smooth. When you put on that extraness, you always end up feeling super uncomfortable. I have many times I have to send my assistant sometimes, you know, in the past where I have to send my assistant to go help my bride in the bathroom because she can't breathe.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Because, you know, she's like, oh my God, I can't breathe in this thing. It's too tight. I can't. So, you know, we have to go and say, hold up. But we did a dress fitting and you did it and you were fine. What's different?
Right.
So I have on an extra support under it. Don't do that, ladies. It's not needed.
And these designers nowadays,
they come with them in.
They are getting very smart when it comes to structure. Yeah. Even when it comes to the sheath gowns that I notice now. A lot of these sheath gowns, they don't have a lot of structure in them. But what they're doing is some of them will have like a diamond cut on the side of it and it'll be an illusion. And that diamond cut is what gives them that cinched look in the waist. So, you know, piling up all the armor underneath the gown is not necessary, ladies. Yeah. Trust me.
It's really not necessary. It doesn't make sense for you guys to go through all of that throughout the day. And I know a lot of times, you know, we tend to do that as women. I'm not just singling out brides. We as women, we want to feel nice, smooth. We want to be secure. We don't want to see any angles in our photos. And that's why you got the right photographer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Not even that. Like just walking down the day up. When you have specialists such as Rashawn Rose, Bridal, they make sure, and as I said, with your planner as well. Yeah. You know, Shauna used to tell me a lot. She said, you're the only planner I see come here with your brides.
Yeah, very, very few.
Out there. I'm sorry. Being in this industry and being in the fashion industry, I have to see my brides. I had over, what we had, 20, almost 25 years. Yeah. So it's like, combine that with the planner.
Right.
And when you look at things and you see how it fits, because people, this didn't come overnight. Shauna and them can tell you.
Yeah.
They know me when I was like, when I'm to this now. So it's, you know what fits your body and you got to be comfortable in your own skin and know what fits your body. And the thing is that sometimes when we go in, we don't have an open mind. We're just stuck in this mentality that this thing is going to look awesome on us and we just do what we want to do. But if you're not conscious and have an open mind about and give them the opportunity to make proper recommendation, people. Because they know exactly what they're doing. They've been doing this for years. Right. And that's the whole purpose of having such an amazing team. When you have your planner and you have the salon recommending the perfect dress and you have less people in your ear, you'll walk out falling in love with the perfect dress. I mean, I cannot even be there and I can trust these ladies to do the job. I mean, I had Krista, she's still on here, call me all the way in Jamaica crying.
I remember.
Imani, who wedding was
Imani, yes.
Like every time, if I have to travel for an event or something and I can't make it, they are able to even chime in and say, Mel, we got the dress. And they're talking, right? So they say, Mel, I need your opinion. And they're already like tearing. I'm like, well, if you're tearing, I mean, you love it. And I'm like, let me see it. But it's always an opportunity for you to trust these people in the industry.
And it's really a team effort between you coming in as the planner, us as the stylist, and the bride is part of the team as well, because just as much as we know everything, they still have their, you know, they're still going to have their input. They're still going to have their ideas, especially if they've gone a few places before they got to us. She's got a pretty good idea of what she's working with. So all three of us combined it, or, you know, between you, us, and the bride, we put our heads together and be open-minded, you'll definitely find something.
Right. And I agree with you guys 100%. It's something where you just have to come in with an open mind. Now, before we wrap, because I know we have about like 5 or so minutes. I know we 7:05. We started kind of jump off and jump back on. But let's talk about the ordering process. How is that like in contracts? How we you know, how can brides reach out to you to kind of, and how does that look when they come into the salon?
So contracts, we at the time, like throughout the appointment, we'll let you know, like depending on your wedding date, like, hey, this is the time frame we're looking for. Usually to get the ordering process started, we'll start about like 60% down deposit, and then we can work with you on the remaining balance. We do ask that the dress is paid in full before it comes in, but depending on what your payment arrangement is, then we'll say, hey, this is your approximate ship date. Sometimes the dresses may come in earlier. We've had it before where it came in a little bit later, but again, if you're ordering that 6 to 8 month window time frame, you're still in a safe place. And then, so what happens is when the dress comes in, probably what, 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks before your wedding, you're going to book an appointment with one of our seamstresses. We'll refer, depending on what we're doing with the gown, we'll refer you to one of our seamstresses, and you'll go to them with all your undergarments, and you'll do your first fitting. You're probably going to have probably about 2 or 3 fittings, and you get your gown about a week before your wedding. So for all the brides who are always concerned about, like, well, what if I lose weight, if I put on weight? That's what that whole ordering process out a year in advance will give you, that time to do that. And then that 6 to 8 weeks before your wedding, you're trying on the gown again, so you know, hey, this is my final cutoff date to lose whatever amount of weight or to do whatever I want to do right before the wedding. So, and then in terms of like our contract process, everything is pretty like highlighted there. We have it on a computer, we have it digital, and we put it actually in bold, like the most important things, saying that you understand it's an approximate ship date. Same thing for our bridesmaids. Everything is just written in bold. We're very transparent, and the same thing with our payment plans, because we're consumers as well. So I don't know if anybody's going to buy a car, you get that contract and you have no idea what you just signed for, but you had to sign because you want the car. So for us, what we do, we figure it's easier. We will verbally read it out to you and also say, hey, this is highlighted in bold. Sorry. So that way you know exactly what you're signing up for. And at that time, we always encourage brides, ask us any questions. And then we also email you a copy of that for your records. So we're pretty transparent. It's just like out there in the open for everybody.
Awesome. And then my last question for you guys, especially with the pandemic that's going on, with the postponement, and for brides that have things picked up back with the shipping process? Are things coming back into perspective with gowns that are coming in for those brides that are looking for like their wedding in June or May?
Sample sale.
What I find is, like I said, with the time frame that we give the brides to order, a lot of the brides, if there was a disruption in regards to the shipping or any type of delay, it still has given them more than enough time for the dress to come in for alterations. And then some of our designers, you know, beforehand, as soon as they got wind of anything, have been really proactive. So right now, minor delays, maybe by a week. But, and with the time frame that the girls, you know, have ordered the dress, I mean, knock on wood, so far, it's been good.
But the people who, like, were supposed to have an approximate ship date of, like, March and April, we've actually been having the dresses be shipped to our house directly. So at least that way we can have it there and inspect it and make sure everything's good. Because say if you're having a July or August wedding and your approximate ship date was March or April, we don't want the designer to then send it back with UPS or it getting lost in transit. So we've been having them ship everything to our house. Same thing for bridesmaid gowns.
Awesome.
If it's something available, we do have it shipped to our home. We inspect it, make sure everything is good.
Right. I didn't even get to jump on the bridesmaids, but we're gonna leave that for
That's a whole other animal.
That's a whole nother animal. So for all you guys that have been on here, thank you guys for joining live with Mel today with Rashawn Rose, Shawnette, and Sharika. We will be on Rashawn Rose Live.
Yes.
I'm their first guest on their live show.
We're so excited.
Friday at 3 o'clock. So we want you guys to chime in. We'll give you a little bit more details on the wedding dress process, the trends, and everything that's going on right now out here in the industry. And we'll have more details for you guys if you didn't get a chance to really ask as much questions today. Have your questions ready for Friday at 3. So definitely come back and join us on Friday at 3 with Rashawn Rose Bridal.
And
now,
Melisa,
tomorrow, we will be back on live with one of my couples from a past wedding, Billy and Brenda, and we're going to be talking about why is it important to hire a wedding planner and some of the do's and the don'ts during the wedding planning process. So stay on tomorrow at 6, and we have a great lineup this week. We'll go back into that as we go forward. But ladies, you guys have been absolutely amazing. You are my go-to bridal shop for all of my brides.
Thank you. You're our go-to wedding planner.
Okay, I didn't get to let the ladies say their goodbyes. We got cut off.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Instagram don't like us to stay no more than an hour, so we have to be timing and making sure we get everything in within that 1 hour. But as you were saying, you guys are amazing. For all the beautiful brides that are out there that's looking for your wedding dress, reach out to Rashawn Rose Bridal. They are doing virtual consultation right now as we speak. So go into on their Instagram page, look in their bio, you will see all the detailed information on connecting with them, and they will give you the step-by-steps of how we can get you in. For all of our future brides, my future brides, we know that can't wait to go in-house, in-store, to do their dress fitting. Once the time comes, trust me, we will be in there, okay? We will have the full experience. We'll have the full... Ladies, I don't know what it is, but your energy kind of brought my energy up today. I wasn't feeling well all day. And my energy was so drained that I was like trying to build myself up. I don't know, So I got on here, and then all of a sudden, like, that whole spirit just got lifted. Maybe it's me being in the house cooped up too much. I need to get out.
Maybe go for a drive.
But thank you guys. You absolutely beautiful. Tell the people any information you want before we go.
Just check us out on our live. Every Friday and Monday, we're going to be doing Instagram lives. You will be our first guest, so we're super excited about that. And then if they just stay tuned with us through our social media, every time we're doing the live, we'll just remind everybody in advance of what days it's going to be. It's going to be really exciting. We'll have you on there. We'll have photographers, makeup artists. Nice. So really, lots of gems for the brides.
Very good. And guys, you should definitely check out the, each and every one of our vendors. As we said, we've been having some really amazing vendors for the past couple of weeks on here, and you guys are meeting my A team offhand. I took the opportunity of starting the show because I really wanted you guys, the brides that are out here newly engaged, to really meet the best out here in the industry in South Florida. Hands down, we have a solid and amazing vendors list, and I can't say so much about you guys, how the transition, transition from New York to here has been so amazing with us here. And even my partner in New York, Nye, who always says, Mel, oh my God, you found it. You nailed the perfect team. And so far out here, which sometimes it would take me a little bit to get the perfect team together. But I don't know, when I came to South Florida, it was amazing how everything just kind of just synced. I met with each and every one of you guys, and you guys have been nothing but family. And it's been absolutely an amazing journey, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you guys. Definitely want to commend all the growth and everything that's been happening. Commend you guys for everything that you've been doing, especially at the salon. Ladies, when we go on Friday, we'll talk more about the bridal party dressing.
Yes.
We go into detail about that because we don't need to touch on that part, okay? Don't worry about that. Thank you guys again for joining. We appreciate you for joining us here on Live with Mel. And I'll see you guys back again tomorrow at 6. And definitely on Friday, ladies.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Rashawn Rose live at 3 o'clock. We will be live with myself and the girls again.
Bye.
Bye.